Hi there. On today's episode, the blues, spit, and blood are mixed together in our review of Sinners. I'm Charlie.
I'm Chris.
Nah, I'm Eddie.
This is Straight to POD. Awesome. So we're back. We have before we get to Sinners, which I'm really excited to talk about actually. We have just a little mini, I want to say a mini movie collection review here because it's been, how long has it been? It's been like a month since we did Mickey 17 and nothing great. We'll get to it, but nothing surprisingly great has been dropped between that time. But I can't speak for these two guys. So let's just get the mini movie collection review going. We'll start with The Amateur. I did not watch The Amateur. I do like Rami, but I just did not get around to it. Did you guys catch it?
Yes, I did. And it was kind of like Mr. Robot, but if he
That's all I
was a
could think of.
killer,
Yeah, that's all I could think of the entire movie. So much so that I started rewatching Mr. Robot.
I mean, it's a good
Really?
show.
Yeah,
Was it
it's
like
on
the same?
Tubi. It's on Tubi, and I was just like, man, this is just the amateur like compressed together.
But what is it, the like his character, or is it
No, he's not as like
the
moody and
fact?
like emo in this
And he's not
movie.
like addicted to drugs either.
Yeah. I mean, that might have
Um,
helped.
yeah, yeah,
Is he oh, so just like the technology hacking part?
Yeah, like
yeah,
he like
yeah.
he's like a analyst or coder for the CIA, FBI, something. And
It's just another a secret branch of the government. I assume it's
yeah.
like I don't know, it's something. It's CIA or FBI or something, but it's like a secret underground level, like seven levels down type of
Yeah,
organization.
yeah,
Yeah, so he uses his like he's not like his what this isn't a spoiler because it's in the trailers, but like, essentially his wife gets killed in the beginning of the movie, and he wants to like be trained to be a person to hunt down these people who killed his wife, but
yeah,
he like goes through training. He's not really a killer just because of the way he is, so he has to like use his own ways of doing it. You know, like he uses
yeah,
his technology skills and like
yeah,
he hacks a pool, like that's in the trailer to
yeah.
kill
Is
someone.
is the is the whole movie shown in the trailer?
A lot of
No,
it.
Because
a lot of it
I
is,
feel like
but
they
the
could
whole
have,
movie.
yeah, I feel like they could have stopped at the Lawrence Fishburne scene, right? Where he's like, "I'm gonna train you to be a killer," and then they could have just left the rest to, you know, as a surprise. But
Honestly, I feel that's
um,
just modern trailers these days.
Yeah, they really
yeah,
do give you a lot of
Even
stuff. I
Sinners
will give
like
you some.
ruined a lot of the
Yeah,
movie.
even Sinners and stuff. But what did you think overall, Chris? What did you think? Like,
I didn't really care for it, and I guess I don't really understand why Jonathan Berthol was in this movie. Like he had like two scenes, and it's
that's what
like,
I was telling Charlie. I was
were
like,
you
I
just
Chris
there
is
from
like,
Daredevil
yeah,
set, like next door,
yeah.
or what? I don't understand. Because like even the accountant too, like he's in that, and it's like, is this he? This feels like the same character he's playing. I don't know.
Like, you don't need to be in this movie. Like, I thought you would train, shoot, do something. You literally don't even have lunch with this guy. I thought he would have gonna play a bigger role, and he doesn't do anything except just talk.
Yeah. Well, you know, when the amateur too, when he like sets up a team with him, you know, I don't
No,
know,
I don't
but it
think so.
seemed,
That's dumb
yeah,
all right.
I
Well,
give it like a three. I
the
wasn't
bigger
very
question
exciting.
is, should people go see The Amateur in theaters or just wait?
I think it's already streaming. You can just go watch it at home if you're interested in like a spy light type movie.
Yeah, I agree with you, Chris. I give this a three. It's a very slow burn, and it doesn't give you any payoff. It just feels weird. Lawrence Fishburne should also not be in this film. Because nobody's buying the fact that he's a CIA agent, like out in the field still, you know. And then on top of that, he survives. How does he survive? Doesn't matter. It's the mystery of the CIA agent. So,
But I guess like
yeah,
what is even the point of him coming back?
I don't know.
The
We're
amateur
moving on.
too.
Let's just move on. Yeah,
Yeah.
Amateuring
someone
again.
amateur again.
Cool.
Just move on. We can move on.
Cool. Next up, I did actually watch this movie, and it's Drop, which I really liked and appreciated. Uh, I thought it was like a better. It's not like the premise isn't like super new or anything, right? Like Carry On came out like either earlier this year, last year. They reminded me a lot of like the phone booth with like Ethan. Is
Not
it Ethan
Ethan
Hawke?
Hawke. It's not Ethan Hawke for the 18th billion time.
It's
Colin
Colin Farrell
Farrell.
then. Yeah,
Yes.
there you go. Reminded me of that movie
Jeez.
too. Um, but I like this movie a lot. Um, it's just it was really good, and I think everyone should go see it. But what about Chris, Eddie? Did you guys watch it?
Yes, I
Yeah.
saw this as well. And yeah, I agree with you. This is a lot better than I expected. Like a lot of fun. I still think the whole like airdrop thing is kind of silly, like as a feature that anyone can just drop anything, a file, a
At any given
message.
time. Yeah.
Like they don't even have your number. You just need to be close to them. Like what? I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean
Yeah.
that
I mean, that's the only
but
kind of folly in this movie is just like
yeah.
just turn off notifications or the app or like reject the
Yeah.
messages or just like, there's got to be a setting where it's like only accept messages from, you know, friends or contact list or something.
Yeah. And
I don't know
like
why
I
it would
know
like, oh, someone's messing with me. And that would just immediately ignore every single like message after that.
right? Like they were sending
Yeah.
memes in the movie, like at the beginning. It's like, okay, let me just block you, or like, nope. And I get like, I know like she's worried about her son, like because she hasn't left her son alone in a long time. But like, at least turn down the vibrations. I feel like it's the loudest vibration ever. It's like on the table too. It's like shaking the table.
Yeah. Well, movie's got a movie, Chris.
Yeah, no. You need to know every time she gets
Yeah,
it.
but it pretty much was like Eddie, what about you?
Yeah, the twists and turns I enjoyed. I don't think I expected who ended up being the person. Um, the story moves along. Yeah, I think it would have just been done if it's like, just turn off airdrops. Uh, but you know, it was exciting. It was well paced. And like I said, I like these kind of stories when they take what seems to be just like a regular, not sometimes obscure or very niche thing, but it's a restaurant, right? Everything's happening within the restaurant, uh, and it builds suspense. It builds, anticipation. Is I mean, done very well for an hour and a half movie, on what I assume is a very very low budget. And it seems like it's doing well. So definitely go watch this if you have a chance.
Would you rate it?
I think I would rate this. I give this 3.5 poisons out of 5. There wasn't anything that really stuck out to me in this one, but it was good. Just definitely go watch it.
Yeah. 3.5 for me as well.
Yeah, same.
And I know it, I just came to streaming literally today. So
Oh,
if
really?
it's still in
Nice,
theaters, I guess go see it there. But
nice.
yeah, it's streaming now. But yeah, I enjoy this one as well. It's definitely a fun time. Have either of you been to that restaurant in Chicago, or is it just like a fake restaurant from
Oh,
It's a,
the movie?
I
it's
yeah,
fake.
I want
Oh,
to go
okay.
see it.
Because I was curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was curious too. I live here,
I don't
but
think it's, well, I don't know if it's real. Uh,
I mean, I assume they might have
but
used the
the build,
building.
I mean, just like the landscape and the way the buildings are set up, I'm like that's on the wrong side of the, that's on the wrong side
Yeah.
of the lake or whatever. I don't think it's a real restaurant. I imagine it tried to be like the signature room, right? At the top of the John Hancock.
that's what
Hmm.
I assumed that they were
That's what I was
doing.
thinking
Yeah,
too.
Yeah. So, but that's closed now. So
I thought it was open.
I feel like it was fake. Yeah. I
Mm.
just feel like it was generally fake.
Makes
Um,
sense. I mean, you
you
probably
know,
don't want to have your restaurant in a movie where someone gets poisoned or whatever.
Not good for business.
but yeah. Um, and Drop is on streaming services now, so feel free
Oh,
to watch.
what is your review, Charlie?
Of what? Drop?
Yes.
I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot. And like you, I was just like, just turn off the airdrop, lady. Damn, it's not hard. Um, so yeah, so I mean, I liked it a lot. But I kind of generally like those movies, so I'm a little biased. Like Carry On, I enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed
No.
it. I went back and watched Phone Booth and those kind of general movies I appreciate. But yeah. Next up is Warfare, which honestly is probably um I feel like it's underrated. I think it did generally well, or maybe it did okay.
I don't think it did
But
well at
I
all.
really but I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I liked Warfare
What
a
about you,
lot.
Chris?
Yeah, I feel like I didn't really see any trailers for this one. All I knew was it's A24 and Alex Garland made it, so I was gonna check it out. But yeah, it's very kind of similar to Drop, where it's just like in one location,
Hmm.
and yes, there's like getting bombarded for most of the movie, and it's very like intense, like war movie. Very kind of like Lone Survivor in that way, but if they stayed in the house the whole movie. What about you, Eddie?
Um, yeah, I generally like war movies. Overall, um, I mean, it's this type of genre that could go on forever, right? Any little battle or any little thing can be made into a full-fledged movie. Um, I was really surprised by the pace of the movie. I was trying really hard not to make noise at the beginning of this movie. It's just so quiet. It's very slow. I assume it's done that way on purpose because then it immediately goes off the wire. It just goes insane. Um, the, the I assume they use just prosthetics in this movie, no CGI. It looked very, very well. It looked very well done. Um, but yeah, it's just like a regular war story. I enjoyed it for the most part. Um, I would definitely see it in like a Dolby aspect if you're gonna watch it for the first time. I feel like it'll do it justice, or like a whatever the surround sound one is.
Yeah, definitely a theater with like yeah IMAX or Dolby for sure, just to hear like kind of like his last film Civil War, just like the gun fire feels like so realistic almost how it's just like heightened, and the sound design is really good for this one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I snuck in Culver's for this movie and
So you
this
didn't
is
care
this
about the sound then?
no, but it was very quiet. If you remember in the beginning, it was very quiet, right? When they were
Yeah.
like sneaking around, looking for a house to like post up, et cetera, et cetera. So it was very number one, the story like everybody was into it because the whole theater was quiet itself too.
Except
And
someone
it was
who's
very
crinkling their
hot.
Culver's bag.
Yeah, so it was very hard to like open my burger and my I got a full meal too. And I got like cheese curds and they come in that like
Yeah,
paper
yep.
bag. So that like crinkled the shit. It like crinkled throughout the whole movie. So it was very yeah, but other than that, I was also very much it was very much an intense movie, especially in the beginning it actually kind of sets you up because it's like happy and like you're into it. And then it gets very serious very quickly. And then it gets really, really serious, right? Even quicker. But that first part, but the whole movie, like I was just like engaged and in it the whole time, even during the quiet moments in the beginning. Um, and it also I was like, damn, I picked the wrong, food to sneak into the theaters because usually, I want to watch something light and happy while eating my Culvers, but no, I was trying to eat a burger at the same time. I was trying to watch a very serious movie. Um, so yeah, so now we know, we gotta put the cheese curds in like the box ahead of time.
Gotta put the cheese curds in
Um,
the box.
yeah.
Every time that they do the hammer, you like take a cheese curd out.
Like it was either like either make noise during the quiet parts or wait until like the guns start
Yeah.
blasting. But by the time that happened, my food was gonna get cold. So I decided like, you know what? Screw this guy next to me. Um, Not Eddie, but the other person sitting next to me was like, well, you're gonna have to hear me pull out these cheese curds out of this bag. I'm sorry. Um, so yeah. And yeah, but last and I think I want to say last but not least, but I think it's last and least of this list here is Until Dawn, the video game, another video game movie, right? Has anyone played Until Dawn?
No, but
No.
it's kind of
No.
like a choose your own adventure, like that one game we played. Um,
Oh, I see.
yeah,
What's
it's
it
kind of
called?
like it's like a
Yeah,
co-op kind of like you choose who lives or dies kind of thing.
I see.
But I
I
think
see.
the game story is different than the movie, at least from the trailers I've seen.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So how was
Gotcha.
it?
Terrible. It was terrible, Chris. Don't watch it.
It's
It was like
what
it
was
was
bad
gory
about it?
enough. It was like
Okay.
gory enough. I thought the premise where it was like, oh, we have to live until dawn, or we're just gonna keep dying. I was like, all right, cool. The premise is cool enough that I'm gonna go watch it. The execution of it all was just kind of like whatever. It was like cheese. It was like what you expect out of uh like a bad horror movie, right? Like cheesy acting. Um, like it was whatever at the end. And that was pretty much it. Very game like. It's like took a video game and just made. It's like they took the rules of a video game and then just applied it to the movie, and then it was like you were just supposed to like just take that as is. Um, I don't know. Eddie was there too, and he can tell you all about
I enjoyed it.
it.
Different takes on this movie. I enjoyed it. I think I don't again, I haven't played a game, but I think the explanation of what is going on as far as like the horror aspect of what's going on made sense once they explained it. But then like the more you think about it, it doesn't. So it's a very quick takeaway that you need to just, oh, that's true, and then you have to immediately forget about it because if you ponder on it, it immediately dissolves. But I just think that they could have gone more into more of these days. Obviously they keep repeating the same day. But we only get to see maybe two or three. Um, and then we
Mhm.
have to recap. Like there's a recap of like all the other days that they've been in there and surviving. So I thought they
That
would
was
have
that
really
was
good.
shitty. That was shitty. That was like because they showed a lot of the recap was in the trailer, but they
Hmm.
showed it as not a recap. They showed it as like these are the kind of freaky things you're gonna see.
Right.
And
Exactly.
it was just like they just like bait and switch the whole movie basically.
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
weird. Huh.
Yeah, I thought it would be more in depth in that, and like maybe give it a little bit exposition during. But there really wasn't. It was like I don't know. It reminded me kind of Heretic. Um, where it was like, oh, this looks like it'll be interesting, but then it just kind of fell flat. Towards the end. Um, well, but it's an A24 film, right? It's A24, so
Until
kind of,
Dawn is Sony
or it was. Oh, I thought it was an A24. Okay, well,
because they made the game or
all
they
right, Sony.
published it.
Well, step your game up because that was not it. Nonetheless, I enjoyed it for what it was. And again, it's very hard to do horror films nowadays, but it did it did its job, right? Because it removed technology from what was going on. It has to be supernatural. You know, everything is just within the realm of what's going on. So proximity is, the distance and the proximity is distance taken away where proximity is given there. And overall, it didn't rely on the jump scares. Most of the stuff that was happening, it was what it was. It felt a mixture of like Cabin in the Woods with Heretic. Um, if anybody remembers Cabin in the Woods,
Of
that was a
course.
weird film.
Yeah.
Nice cult
Mhm.
classic there. But it felt kind of like that, where every other day was like something new, and what is gonna come out, and what is this lore? Where is it coming from? And again, the film doesn't do a good job of explaining like every single thing, but it does a good enough job for you to be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But it is an enjoyable. It's only an hour and a half. I would say go watch it. Um, just if you are like waiting for something later for dinner or something, just go watch it. Um, yeah, I'd give this maybe like a solid in the middle, 2.5. I don't know, monkey paws or whatever the hell is in there out of 5.
Cool. All right, and that concludes our little mini movie collection review. Go watch some, avoid others. It's on you. But let's shift over to like our Sinners review, shall we? Can you tell us what is this movie about, Eddie?
Definitely. Trying to leave their troubled lives behind, twin brothers return to their hometown to start again, only to discover that an even greater evil is waiting to welcome them back. The director of this movie is Ryan Coogler, who directed movies like Creed and Black Panther. Our protagonist is Michael B. Jordan, Miles Canton, and the lovely Haley Steinfeld.
Nice, thanks. Uh Chris, what did you think?
This movie is awesome. Like I think it takes a little bit to get going, just because it's like getting the gang back together kind of thing at the start. But once it gets to like the night of, it really start goes after that. Like things just go crazy, and yeah, there's a lot of like music is like a big thing in this movie. There's one scene in particular that is just, I would say go see this movie just for that scene, just because it's so good. Plus the rest of the movie is also good, but like that one scene that we'll get into is just
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're thinking
it's
of two
amazing.
different scenes, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, there's other music scenes in this movie, but those are also pretty good. But this one is also is just tops those. And I I will say the only disappointment is more on the marketing, just because that first trailer was such a good like teaser to the movie, and it like showed literally nothing essentially, and then the second trailer came out and it spoiled like the entire movie essentially.
Like the whole,
So
yeah, the whole thing.
yeah, like who gets turned by a vampire and stuff. It's like, come on. I feel like that would have been a better like twist or something, but I don't know, just that annoyed me, even though I know that's just trailers these days. But yeah. What
I
about you,
think,
Trey?
yeah, yeah. I agree with your like marketing comment. It went from like, who the hell is Michael B. Jordan like fighting, to like, is it racist? Is it the Klan? Is it like something supernatural? If it is, like, what is a supernatural? Went from like that, right, to just like, oh, it's a vampire movie. Cool. And it kind of deflated the excitement there. That being said, yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. I really loved it. Um, I feel like all my reviews are biased, but I love the blues, so the music was just hit instantaneously for me. Um, and I'm not gonna I'll mention this in the spoilers about who shows up, but yeah, you should go watch it. I also like the amount of like memes and Instagram reels that came out of this movie too. Um, which shouldn't say how good it is, but it's just like how much of an impact kind of and how much how much it's trending. It just kind of shows, you know, that a lot of people want to see this movie, a lot of people like the movie, and therefore like people are making reels and memes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Um, my
I used
friend
to speak
Victor,
on.
my friend Victor went to go see it twice, literally on a Snapchat today. He was like, watch it for a second time because that's how much I like this movie. I was like, you know what? Good for you. Good for you, Victor. Um, yeah, I'm thinking about going to see it tw again just because I think we go Eddie and I would go see it in standard. But I think seeing it in IMAX or like Dolby would just be awesome. The movie itself, though, so that's just like marketing and like the impact and stuff. But the movie itself, yeah, I really liked it a lot. Um, I thought Michael B. Jordan did super well. Haley Steinfeld and who else? And then just like everyone, I think this movie was kind of stacked and new take on actually I wanted more of the kind of vampire lore that they showed is my only ask. I'm gonna say it wasn't even a complaint, but I was like, we know what vampires are, like everybody knows like the lore and kind of myth behind it. But these specific ones, it was just kind of like it went from setting up the whole movie to just like instant, you know, conflict against um the Sinnerverse vampires. And where do they come from? What's with the, you know, I'll probably mention the spoilers, but what's with the couple of things that we noticed there, um, in terms of like their powers and things like that. Uh, so yeah, I mean, overall it was great. Eddie, what about you?
I agree. It took a little bit of a slow start. I don't I don't necessarily I'm not necessarily against it. Um, because I guess it's assumed that the general population knows vampires. I mean, we just Nosferatu came out less than a year ago. And we're having more vampire movies coming out, so F it. Um, but uh, it didn't. I didn't get to the magical part, I guess, for lack of a better term, until maybe till the middle of the film. So a lot of it is just getting background, good, I think very good character development, They really took their time for us to resonate with each character, who they are, their background, what each of them are within the movie. Um, and again, it's only after the fact that you get to appreciate that um, as it culminates at the end of the film. Um, I don't like one of the characters. I think when we get to the spoilers, we'll know which one. They're not invited to the barbecue. Um, uh, but um, but overall, story was was done well. Um, and there is a mid credit scene. I didn't see the after credit scene, but there's a mid credit scene that I think does a good job of just giving a little wink to like the movie itself, the individual who's who's part of it, and this and just like, damn, despite everything that occurred and transpired, that's a very, I guess, good way on both ends to kind of just leave it as such. But it was enjoyable. But anything else, we'll get into the spoiler right now. Yeah, that's my take.
Before we go, I
Should
want
we get into
to bring up this is the so cinema score is like when like the first people to see the movie they rate it, and this is a cinema score. This is the highest a horror movie has been since like in 35 years. So
Damn, that is
it's
nice.
people love this movie, and even like box office wise, like people are going to see it. I think like it dropped like 6% or less than that this weekend, which is unheard of for most movies. And I think it was even playing at like 70 millimeter IMAX, which is cool because most movies don't aren't filmed in that. So it's good to see people are watching like original movies.
yeah. It just like I feel like it was a snowball. Like it just picked up. It picked up so fast. That word of mouth must have been just like, go watch the movie. I mean, I'm doing it myself. I told a coworker today. I was like, hey, because he likes horror movies, so I was like, hey, you should go watch. You should go watch Sinners. And even he was like, I've heard good things. I'm like, yeah, go watch it. Everyone I've spoken to, I'm like, go watch Sinners. Go watch Sinners. But should we
And
step into the spoilers? Oh,
even
go ahead.
Victor, who doesn't like horror movies or like horror stuff, at least he was telling me that he, like you said, he's already seen it twice so far. So,
Yeah.
and I didn't think it was that scary for a horror movie, but I don't know. We watch a
Yeah.
lot of horror, so it's hard to say sometimes.
Yeah, true. Um, was it even
Maybe at the
um
end, I don't know.
like
And
is it even yeah, I don't
sort
know.
of. I don't know.
I have trouble being I don't know if I would put this as a horror movie though. But I mean I'll take it. F it. Should we step into spoilers?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, spoilers ahead for Sinners, and so you've been warned. Um, Anything burning in either of your minds in terms of this movie?
The song I'm talking about is let me pull up the name of the song. It's do,
Which
I
one?
Lied to You, and it's essentially the uh Sammy, like the preacher,
Yeah, it's like the
like his like
first big
main,
song he
yeah,
sings in the barn, right?
yes. And
Yeah,
it's like it starts with him just playing normally, and then it goes to just like I don't know if this is all in like like a one shot, but like it starts like going around the room, and it like they're like, oh, music transcends time and space. So like it goes to like different like time and regions of music. start playing. Like there's a future, like there's a guy playing rock and roll, and then like there's other. I'm not sure exactly what like culture and stuff those are from, but like exactly, but it's very like it goes around the room and shows them like the other groups from the past and the future playing music together with this song. Just it's such an awesome scene.
Yeah,
I
it was
think I think it might
definitely
have been
next level. I
like a
wasn't,
drone shot.
Oh yeah, I can see
yeah,
that.
It looked like a drone, like just going in and around.
I've listened to that song like 10 times now.
Same.
And the soundtrack, the whole soundtrack itself, like, is
Hmm.
really great. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely threw me for a loop though. Because I wasn't expecting music to transcend time and have them actually show different eras of music and art. This shit gets real. This shit gets real.
Yeah. The the other song that I really like was the like Ruthie, I believe her character's name is. Like she's like she it was like she's like stomping on stage while in the background they're like beating up a guy who was like gambling, like cheating and gambling or something. It was like an interesting like showing the two different things like with the music in the background.
Hmm.
It's cool.
And can we talk about this Irish jig everybody was getting down to?
Yeah,
Out
that
of
was a good
nowhere.
one
I
too.
mean, yeah, that was great. Um, and how everyone was so, I don't know, everyone's so in sync.
I mean, at that point,
Uh,
most of them were vampires that were in there, so
yeah. Yeah, I felt bad for the people because someone, was it Stone? Smoke or Stack that got bit? I think it was Smoke. Or was it Stack? One of the brothers got killed. Uh, so then they like, so
Stack. It
then
was
they shut
Stack.
down the party. Yeah, Stack. So Stack got killed, and so they shut down the party and kick everyone out. Unfortunately, um, they all got leaving to their cars or whatever. So I felt very bad for everybody else that was not the main characters because they essentially just like, all right, everybody go home, and they were just like walking out to their deaths essentially.
But I feel like you weren't sure like when it happened, just because like there's so many people, they can't get them all, and
Yeah, yeah,
it wasn't until like a
yeah.
few minutes later where like, oh shit, the whole town of people is here
I had a
essentially.
suspicion. I was like, well, you know, stronger, faster. The dude can fly.
Yeah, that was
Uh,
like
So these
Haley's
vampires
high.
don't have super strength, right? They could just fly and like
I think they're, I think they do have super
and like
strength.
not die because they're fragile. They're not super strong. They're dying fairly like a regular human being. And the
No,
fight at
that
the
one guy
Well,
end,
got shot in the face, cornbread or
yeah, but
whatever.
he got back up.
Yeah, I'm saying like they're durable.
Yeah, but they're not like super strong like other ones were like Blade, it's like
Yeah, oh,
super
yeah, yeah.
strong. But they're just like regular human beings. They just can't die and they could fly. Like the regular humans at the end where the battle royale happens are is able to take like a vampire like one on one as long as it is a Michael B. Jordan cut, like
Yeah.
a regular person.
so the main guy is he essentially super old
I don't know.
because
I don't know. They never
he can
really get into that, you know?
Like we
yeah because he can
see
fl I mean he can fly. Nobody else can fly. He can
And when
see
he
what
everybody
killed,
else's every. I mean he knows everybody else's stuff, but they know
hmm
does it go both ways? And then like at the end, right? And this is what I was talking about, where I was like, I need more lore because it's like, what exactly are your powers? This is super interesting. Like, how far? What exactly? Like, how what exactly are we like are they going up against here? Because when he becomes his like final form, I don't know if it's like his final form, but super long nails, super like super scary and
Super like
intimidating, and
yeah, super like
no one else really looked like that. I didn't see anyone else fly, and I didn't see anyone else, and he was essentially like the leader of everybody else. Um, Especially when he got at the end with the guitar, when he got
Hmm.
the guitar
The
like
silver
piece,
guitar, yeah.
yeah, straight into the dome. Everyone else felt that too.
Hmm.
So I don't know if it's like because he's connected to all of them or because they're all connected to each other. Each other is kind of the part where I was like,
We also
okay,
mentioned like when they were like talking about vampire rules, it's like if you kill me, it won't fix anyone else kind of thing. So that was
yeah,
kind of confusing.
yeah. Well,
In
well,
like
isn't like myth and lore like if you kill the vampire that turned you,
the
you
head
yourself
vampire,
can
yeah.
turn back, yeah, or something like
yeah,
Yep.
but then that doesn't explain why two survived.
that.
Yeah.
That's the
What do you
only
mean? What
problem.
does this?
Why
Well,
Stack and Mary survive at the
yeah,
end.
Stack and Mary survived, and they are
Oh, because they
forever.
were they were in the barn when the lights came on. Lights came
But
on
no,
when dawn came.
yeah, but according to the lore, right? If we're going based on lore, if if you kill the person who's in charge, everybody else dies.
No, that's not. He said that that's not a thing here, and
Oh, okay.
you shouldn't try it.
It
Yeah.
did it did seem like they felt his pain though. Like you say with the guitar, like when he hit them with the
It
silver,
felt
like
like everybody
they
felt
all
the,
like
yeah,
felt
it
it.
made it
Yeah.
seem like that
Yeah.
because there's a
Yeah.
specific like close up of that, and
Hmm.
it's like, oh, he does feel the pain. But then furthermore, I don't, I see, we just see Haley Steinfeld run. That's about it.
Yeah,
We don't
that's
know
true.
what
She runs away from the
she
barn.
ran. F it. Uh, but like, but like, what's his name? Stack.
Yeah.
We see Slim. Was it Slim? Slim Stack. Slim Stack. Uh, we see Slim like, yeah, I couldn't do it. Or we later see him recant like, oh, you couldn't do it. That's about it. So does he stay in the barn as like until nighttime because he's in the barn and he just stays there hiding away? I don't know. It just I like the idea of them like, oh, look at us later down in the future, but I don't like the idea that we just have to take it on like just
Yeah,
it's just survived. You know.
there were a few like weird editing things maybe. Like even like when the vampires when that one lady let all the vampires inside the barn, it felt like there was a lot more people getting bit, even though it seemed more like there was only like five people in there
Yeah, yeah.
before that. So I was
I
like, what? Who are
I
these
literally
people?
said that in the movie theater. I'm like, man, they have to ask they have to give permission one by one because they all can't go in at once. Because it just felt I don't know, it just felt like there was a lot more outside. But of course, it's a movie. Movie's got a movie, so I'm not
Yeah.
like trying to take away from like the movie for
Oh
any
yeah,
little
just a
things.
little dick pic.
Yeah, it's
Same with
just like
like
I'm like, oh, I
yeah.
think my point is it could have been done better, or it could have been like filmed in a way where it's like, okay, we understand, or it's like done better. But there's a whole monologue taking place in the middle of this fight, and it takes away from the urgency, right? It takes away from what's actually happening when you have like a heart to heart on somebody dying, but it's like a 5-to-1 vampire ratio. And you're just having two of
Oh
the people are
yeah.
having heart to heart right in the middle of this fight. It just seems not not genuine, but inauthentic of like what's going around you, you know?
Are you
Oh
talking about
yeah.
Smoke and his like lover or like
Yes.
Yeah.
when she got bit and he had to like kill her?
Where I'm even talking about
And
like was it Slim is saying something to like the girl that he's in love with or whatever. 'Cause she got bit. He's like, I don't want to let you go. He's like, you got to kill me.
yeah,
I don't want to
Yeah,
die.
that's what we're talking about.
Oh, that's what we're talking about. My bad.
yeah, that's what
Yeah.
we're talking about. Yeah.
So yeah, uh he survives. Haley Steinfeld survives. Um, I don't know the Asian lady's name, but I think we could all agree, man, I would have just stabbed her or something. Like, nope, you know. And you know what? This movie had a lot of sexual tension. I'm just putting it out there.
I don't know if there
Like,
was tension. Everyone was banging in this
well,
movie.
Yeah.
it was a lot of sexual references within the movie, not just speaking, but like acting upon, which and again is
Hmm.
not to for it to be vulgar or anything, but it was just like, damn, the people in this small town are really horny, and they're about their sex life, you know, like the Asian lady again, it's your husband and your daughter, and you're like, fuck you, I'm gonna kill you, blah blah blah. But when her husband got turned, he didn't need to say all that he said, he didn't be like, yo, I know how I like your pussy licked, and let me go ahead and lick it again. Like you didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like you didn't have to say that to get to the point of like he knows you. We know he
Maybe
knows
he
you.
did.
I just it didn't. You know what
Maybe
I'm
he
saying? Like it
did.
didn't. It didn't need to like even the famous Haley Steinfeld like this clip that's heard around the world like you stuck your tongue in me and then fucked me. I was like, I'm like, pause. Holy shit. Not our Haley Steinfeld, not Pitch Perfect Haley Steinfeld delivering that line so cleanly. I'm convinced Michael B. Jordan broke character, and that was the best take they took because the way he turned around in his reaction. I'm like, man, he just had to break character a couple of these times because she's delivered it so well. And then I forgot what his face gets, like gets laid by a married woman. Like there's just like a lot like in the movie. Then again, it could be done without the movie, but it made the movie what it was. But it just felt like I was like, damn, this is I don't want to say it's forced, but I was just like, man, they're clearly putting it out there that sex is important to everyone involved in this entire thing. Like even when Stack goes to recruit Cornbread, he's all like, hey, we'll get some real money. If you get real money, your wife might let you get, your wife might give you a head. And she's all like, how much money we talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, damn, bro, like you really gonna bait this man like this? Like, I was just like, all right, cool. I guess the back in the day, I mean, people were bored. That's really all you could do is reproduce. So,
I was like, that's
yeah,
a big man to be insulting that way.
yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
That's too big of a
uh,
man to be insulting that. That's wild. What a wild statement to get you to like play to just like give him a job of the bouncer.
Right. I thought it was gonna be more than
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. R.I.P. Cornbread man. You
yeah.
didn't I saw a meme that was like, you didn't need to go that far to take a piss, bro. You could have stayed by the barn. Like you didn't need to go all the way over there. You know what I mean? And the way he was like, I'm glad they got to the point. I'm glad that one of them knew about vampires. Was like, I know, like what to do. Um, because I'm glad it wasn't like a typical horror movie. It's like, oh, who are they? Oh, they must be vampires. Well, what are they?
Hmm.
Blah blah. Like have that whole 20-minute scene. I'm glad it was like, don't invite him in. I know about these things. Don't invite him in. Don't invite him in. And it's like they're gonna bite you. And then Cornbread just came up to them, just like, well, it's not nice to just barge into places, is it? So you know what? Invite me in. Go ahead. What are you talking about? What are you guys talking? Like I was half convinced. Um, I would have been half convinced because Cornbread seems like a real nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I wouldn't hand him the money like that. If everyone was like, watch this dude, I would just like throw the money. I wouldn't hand them the money to be like pulled like that, but that's just me. And if I was really me, I would have shot him in the face straight up. Like, oh, he's a vampire? Okay, let's test it out. And then, and that would
The
have been it.
face. You're going to the face right away.
He's a vampire. You gotta act quick, Chris, or you're gonna
You
die.
don't know if you don't know.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
the face is crazy work. Is diabolical, dude.
I'm just saying, you were you not thinking it? I was thinking it watching the movie.
You know what? If I'm ever like in suspicion, like if you're ever suspicious of me being, I'm not gonna go around you. I'm gonna go to Chris because your first shot's gonna be to the dome, and I'm gonna be like, bro, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to convince you that I'm not, but you taking a shot to my head isn't the way to go. So I'm like, hell no, fuck you. You know?
All right, go ahead, go to Chris. Go to Chris. And when you get turned to a vampire because Chris is a vampire, that's on you.
Okay, all right.
How does how does the let you into this place work if you were already inside the place?
Because you're out. I guess it's
Because
like
you walked out, does that mean it cancels it? You can't go back in?
yeah, I
Because like
remember.
Mary and Stack were both inside when they were vampires.
Right, but they got out of the home. So I guess the barn would be considered a place of residence.
Hmm.
And based on like the black magic or whatever, you can't like even if you go to a cemetery or something, you're supposed to be like you're not welcome to follow me or what. Like you need to give express specific permission to like entities.
Yeah.
Or there it's like a rule, I guess, in the whatever. So even if it was just like halfway out, I guess it still doesn't count for whatever reason. It reminded me of like the Skeleton Key it was like a really old, like a early 2000s film, 90s film, where it's like there's very very weird specific things that people have to follow, but the thing is that you have to believe in it in order for it to work. And I guess in this scenario, it's not necessarily believing, but more so just abiding by the rules, general rules. Can't come in, garlic, stab through the heart, sunlight, just general things that we know about vampires. I have silver bullets, but I guess silver would be another one that you could use to kill them. I don't know. I don't know what the rules are.
I mean, those are
I
pretty
thought
much the
Silver was
rules.
always like werewolves.
Oh, werewolves. You're right, Chris. Yeah, I'm mistaken. Silver is
I mean, they
werewolves.
didn't mention Silver in this movie though. So did you guys know Haley Steinfeld was a vampire when she came back inside?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
I was
yeah.
just curious as to why she asked permission because I was just like, dude, you were just in there. Why would you need to ask for permission? Only later to find out, like you need to
I
ask.
knew it as soon as well, I knew it as soon as the dude was flying in the air.
Hmm.
I was like, ain't no way, there's no way you're getting away from that. With your back turned, there's no way. Number one. Number two, um, when she asked for permission, and it's just because I know this about vampires, is that you have to like invite him in. And I don't know if that's common knowledge or not, but I just um I was like, oh, that's a vampire. Number three, she was like, let's get it on. You know, obviously sign for like, I'm gonna, bite you.
I mean, vampires. I feel like vampires
Well,
are just horny. It's just like a horny thing,
yeah, I
right?
feel like that's a
They're like they
definitely
go
part of
together,
Yeah,
kind
the
of.
yeah
yeah,
part of the job description.
yeah.
You
Um,
just have to be horny.
Anybody
Um,
else think that um one of the vampires were inside when they were all eating the garlic?
yes,
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I thought one of them was going to turn out to be
yeah.
a
Maybe that's
vampire.
how test. Maybe I won't blast you in the face that email. I'll just make you eat some garlic.
Yeah, well, you and I both know that's what we do, right?
And then once you spit it up, I'll blast you in the face.
I mean, they didn't even need to eat the garlic. They could have just sprayed, like, isn't it like instantaneous? You just rub
Like
it
put it
on
on their
you and then
skin,
you
like rub
die.
it
Yeah,
on them.
like
Yeah.
rub it on them.
I
You
don't
don't
know.
have
That was a good
you don't have
question.
to
Because
ingest it.
like
I don't think.
no, because when she used garlic against
She
Stack,
threw garlic water.
she threw garlic, pickled garlic.
Oh.
So like garlic and vinegar that's been sitting there for like a while, or water. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know the rules, man. I just know that somebody didn't want to eat the garlic because they don't like garlic, and it's crazy. I will say the Asian lady ruined it for everybody.
Yep.
I knew her husband was dead. You might as well you should have just assumed he was dead, and that
I
was
feel
like,
like he was playing it off pretty well. Like he was a little
yeah,
too slick, honestly.
yeah. Um, but the moment the Asian lady like let everyone in, I was like, oh, they should have
Hmm.
just invited like they know everybody. They should have just invited them in one at a time and ambushed them, you know? That would have been the way to go.
Yeah, I feel like
Um,
you could have definitely figured out like a way of like going about um being like, getting around. Either you wait it out till the morning, just stand, sit there.
yeah.
They have to
Start with
hide, you
start with
know.
someone small, you
Demon
know?
Slayer rules. Once the sun comes up, they gotta go. They gotta go fight. You know,
I would,
just
yeah.
let them go.
I wouldn't
Um,
invite cornbread in first. Someone small, you know? Someone's 90 pound, like, you know, female date. That's about it.
I also think could have done a better. Could have. I mean, yeah, they could have done a better job. Don't let them all in. Um, she doesn't speak for all of us, so I think the rule is
I don't think
everybody
that
needs to
matters for
I
agree.
don't think
rules.
that
Everybody,
does not
Yeah, you don't
matter
need
at
like a
all.
majority rule
I
to
think
let
everybody. I
vampires
think you
in.
need the permission from everybody. I
No,
don't
I
know,
don't think
but it
so.
just
You know, she's
feels
she's not the owner
like
of
you
this
would
building.
need
You know, she
it
Yeah.
can't
just
let them in.
feels like you would need the permission from everybody.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
um,
It definitely came in like action movie bad guy style, where it's like, let's surround them and then one of us will fight them at a time.
Oh yeah.
Until the end where the older dude like sacrifices himself for the group. Um,
yeah,
but
Hmm.
that's about it. And it was kind of weird because he cut himself to let the blood out. And it's like, okay, are they tempted because they're just being told what to do, or are they tempted by blood itself? So it kind of I'm just being nitpicky here because at first it was like everybody, grab anybody, you're just fighting anybody, right? And then the dude cut himself, and then like everybody like started hoarding towards him. So is it like, are you after blood or are you just like turning people? I'm not really sure
Well,
at that
like
yeah,
point.
the head vampire, like his whole thing was we're all being like persecuted or whatever. So why not join our group and we can fight back because we're stronger and immortal essentially.
Yeah,
So it was, yeah,
yeah.
like
And
I
he
I
also wanted like Sammy's power. Well, I
yeah,
don't know if his
because
power, but like his,
yeah, like the that this song we talked about earlier, like
yeah.
him being able to play that, the vampire wanted that so he can see his ancestors, I assume, the other vampires. I
yeah,
don't know
yeah.
exactly, but yeah,
I think that was the idea.
yeah.
It did take me a while. It didn't even take me a while. Charlie had to explain to me. I was like, oh, like I guess that's what that was. It just felt weird that that's what they were aiming for. Just this one particular. Because again, another way I could do is like they're not going anywhere. They only want one person. They want the kid.
Hmm.
So you literally could have just like used the kid as bait. Like they weren't not gonna. They don't care about anything else other than the kid. So use that kid to your advantage to some way.
Well, they said they weren't going to sacrifice him.
That's true.
No, I don't, not sacrifice him, but you know what I mean. Like a better way of than just be like, come on in. Like no, let's border. We'll let two people in. We'll let two people in at a time, and then one of us will go outside or something like that. I don't know, but definitely not like, all right, y'all want it, y'all come get it. I was like, nope, she does not speak for all of us.
I don't think that's definitely not how it works.
No. And
She
he
doesn't own
was,
this building. The deed is not in her name.
yeah. Well, I think like your husband was like talking about their daughter and wanting, she was like, I know where she lives. I'm gonna go bite her and turn her a vampire. And that's who's like, nope, we're all dying, I guess. And she's an orphan now.
She's an orphan now.
That's about, yeah. But can we talk about And this is also going around like the Instagram reels and just like memes in general. Can we talk about how the Native Americans showed up? They pull up in their horses and they're like, "Hey, this is after the main guy convinces these nice people to let him in because he's being chased down by some Native Americans. Native Americans showed up and said, "Hey, there's a very dangerous man. We're like trying to find him. Is he in your home?" And the lady, the main lady was like, "No, he's not here." The Native American's like, "All right." Saw the Ku Klux Klan uniform. I was like, "All right, well." And then his friend, which I imagine is the second in command, was like, "It's about to get dark." And then the main leader of Native America was like, "All right, well, we're out. Peace."
That was
Y'all
pretty
deserve what
That
funny.
y'all
is
get. Y'all deserve
that
what
is
y'all get. Bye.
I don't know if he did it because he saw the Ku Klux Klan thing. I don't know if he did it because it was getting dark, or maybe a mix of both just led him to the conclusion where it's like, you know what? Maybe we're better off.
Well,
Maybe,
up to that
we
point,
tried. We tried.
up to that point, we didn't know about vampires that we're not supposed to know that they're vampires
Yeah.
in the movie.
Well, as
So
the
I assume,
audience, you suspected, right?
well, I thought it was more so like he saw the clan thing and the night was coming down, so he's like, let's leave before the clan people come, not
Mm.
the vampire. I thought that's what they were trying to get a hint at. Because we don't know. Well, as an
I
audience,
mean,
we're not supposed to
they
know
they
it's
know
about a
though.
vampire. Yeah, yeah. I assume that I thought that's what they were going with. Like it was a double meaning of like we better go because it's getting dark and we see a clan thing. They're obviously clan members and we're not white. Not necessarily of like we're trying to find a vampire.
I
Mhm.
took it as like he's strongest in the night,
Well, yeah, 'cause he can go
or
outside.
that, or like he can't go out, with the sun out, he can't go outside. So you have the advantage.
Mhm.
Yeah. Without the sun out, he kind of has the advantage because he can fly, he's strong, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
That's how I took it. But I took it, it's like the first movie I've seen someone do something. Oh, it's not the first movie. I think it's like one of the few movies where I've seen someone do something super reasonable, where his friend was like, "Hey, it's about to get dark soon." He's like, "You know what? Yeah, we're gonna go. Yeah, and then we never see them again." I was expecting the whole, were you guys expecting the whole like they show up at the end or they show up like in a moment of like, desperation, or like when things are getting like super bad, they're just like, "Hey, we heard you guys are having a party. Not without us." And then they start like killing vampires. Right? I was expecting that completely, but no, they did not show up
No, it's too late for them.
ever. Not show up ever again.
Just
So super, super reasonable. They just said peace. I mean, I would have done that too. I also felt like um it is, if you know about these creatures and you're hunting them down, you know, isn't it on you to like 100%, flip them out? Because otherwise they're just gonna multiply.
I mean, that lady had a gun pointed towards him. I don't know. He's like,
I mean,
it's
yeah,
not,
I agree.
it's not worth it this time. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna go home.
So reasonable.
it's not worth it this time, huh?
I mean, it worked out in the end.
Lots of people died, Chris.
I mean, so did the head vampire, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Um, at the end of the movie, there's a mid-credit scene that didn't make sense to me.
Really?
Um, well, at the beginning of the movie, we see that the barn that they purchased, where they have the hoedown or whatever, is sold to them by like a white person who turns out to be like a Ku Klux Klan member, whose only sole reason for selling it to two black people was that he was going to get his Klan members and murder them because that's what Klan people do. What it didn't make sense to me is like they waited till the morning and they're like, "Oh, we're all gonna kill a bunch of black people," as if the black people were gonna like have a sleepover and stay there.
Well,
Um,
maybe it's like, oh, they're all drunk and hungover after a night of partying, kind of thing.
okay.
I don't know, but yeah, they
It
Yeah,
just felt
I
like
was
out of
50-50
place.
on that. I'm like, man, you should have showed up at night.
Yeah, why wouldn't you show up in the middle of it where
Yeah,
they're
not at
completely off guard and just like burn
no,
it
they
down?
they like to sleep at night too. With
I guess, yeah. It just felt like, oh, y'all ready to kill some, black people? And I was just like, oh my gosh, okay. Um, there's nobody there. It's the morning. Seems like this plan wasn't really well thought out, but okay, sure. I mean, they're Klansmen, so I don't think logic is a lot of their strong
yeah,
suit. So,
I mean that was yeah. I probably would have stayed in the in the tree line, but that's just me if I'm shooting at them. Like I
I
don't need to
think,
go out there, but I think
yeah,
he wanted to die at that point.
I think he knew he was gonna die.
Well, like he
no,
took off
I think he
the
wanted to die. I think
yeah, he took off
seeing
like the
everybody's
protective
dead,
charm too,
assuming his brother's dead, the girl that he loved is dead, on
and
top of his
his
child.
son,
Yeah, or
daughter,
the child that died
yeah,
from
their
like
child.
birth, stillborn or something implied. Um, and like all his friends and family is like, oh, I don't want to be here anymore type shit. So it made sense. And they gave it to the kid. He's all like, be better than us, you know, live better, do better. You got this, you know. Um, yeah, just the only thing I was just like, I don't know why I wait till the morning to like go over, or maybe they just wanted to kill both of them. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't even like a whole bunch of people. I think maybe it was just like I got two brothers that we're gonna kill.
It's like I took their money and their lives.
Yeah, yeah. Well, because I assume they weren't just
First
gonna
I
kill
take
him;
your money,
they were gonna
then I
torture
take your
him.
life.
I take your life points. Yeah, I assumed they were gonna torture them, not just kill them. So maybe it was just for them too.
Plus, it
But it just
seems like
felt,
very like, oh, let me go with my group of people to take out two guys. Like that feels very on brand, I guess.
yeah,
Very
yeah,
cowardly kind of thing.
yeah. He is an old white guy, so
Yeah,
that makes sense. Um,
Got.
yeah,
he
I got
did.
everybody
Got. Like, I
got.
could offer you money. He was like, shut up. I'm trying to hang out with my baby. I was like, yeah, yeah, it's
My
reasonable.
baby's sleeping. Shh.
Shut the
Shh,
fuck
shut up. Yeah. So like at the end of the film, I didn't see the second one. Chris, you probably give us about like the after
Well,
credit scene. But
the first post credit scene was
yeah,
like in the 90s.
like in the future
Sammy is
from
in
that. Yeah,
Chicago. He's old man now and he's playing blues in Chicago. And then uh S- Smoke and Mary show up in there. Actually Stack. That was Stack.
stack. Yeah,
Stack and Mary show up and they're still the same age. They're rocking the 90s look.
yeah. I like that. That was a
they
nice
were
thing.
they were decked out.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were decked out
Yeah.
90s style. Like that's exactly how 90s like fashion was. It was so on point. I was like, "Yep, this is exactly how you would appear in a bar if you were like a youth." I did like the little wink of like the bouncer. It's like, "Hey, there's some people. They're asking if permission if they can come in." Yeah, sure, let them in. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's been
hmm
years. Like, why wouldn't you? Why would you bat an eye at that? It's like, oh, we're able to come. I was like, I gotta kill him. But I thought that conversation was pretty good. I think it did a real good job, just kind of wrapping up everything. There's a level of respect there that they both have, at least within the movie. Uh, where it's all like, yep, a crazy night. Still think about the night. And they told him, like, do you want to get turned, or not? Would you all, what would you all say in that point? Would you get turned at that point and live forever or or not?
At what, 80 something?
Yeah. But you're forever
I don't
like,
know.
you have good health or whatever and so on and so forth.
You can't go outside.
Not in the morning, but you could go out at night. You play the blues. It's at night anyway.
That's true.
I would, but Haley Steinfeld's got to turn me. You know what I'm saying? I only do it if Haley does
I want the
it.
full treat. I want the full
I want the
treatment
full.
too.
I want the Michael
I
B.
want,
Jordan treatment.
yeah, I want the full treatment. I want the spit and the bite
I want the
and
spit in my face and the bite
and the
and the overpowering that you were doing. I want
no,
it
it's
all.
like they were doing it. They were doing it when they...
I know, but she was on top. It's a power move. See, the movie got us, everyone. The movie we're introducing the sex now.
Oh
Um,
Jesus. Jesus, that's
that's
funny.
funny. That's
That's
funny.
funny. Yeah, turn me, but I want her and the full treatment, please.
I'll have what he was having.
You'll
Oh.
never be able to turn back. I gotta change my no, as long as it's her.
How many people
Uh,
would say yes? How many people would say yes if it was her?
uh, I know
Mm,
probably a lot of heterosexual men and a lot of
yeah.
heterosexual women would want Michael B. Jordan to do it.
Oh, Jesus. Shout out to Buddy Guy for being in the movie. And that was super, 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 super. That took me by surprise. He's coming to Rockford, Illinois. So I'm like,
Hmm. Yeah, and there was the post credit scene is young Sam sitting in his church strumming the guitar, singing "This Little Light of Mine" by himself. I think people are saying like that could be like him in the afterlife. He died and he's able to like pass on, go to heaven, I guess, whatever kind of thing. But if you're a vampire, I assume you don't get that because your soul's gone or whatever you want to call it.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So would you guys turn,
yeah, it'll be fun.
live forever, but you can't go out in the sun?
Get like an umbrella.
Just completely covered head to toe. I would do it just to rock rock the 90s streetwear. What about you, Eddie?
Yeah. Yeah, I give this a four. Four spits, or spits in the mouth.
Okay, we're going to
Oh, random
that.
reviews. I said, would you be a vampire though? Would you turn?
Oh, I'm sorry. Uh,
Someone's still thinking
I
about
got
the
a,
spits.
I got
Someone's
ahead
still
of
thinking
myself. I got ahead of myself. Um, I don't think so. I don't think it would turn. Um, I think I think he does. Was it Smiley? Sammy.
Hmm.
Does a good job of explaining, and I think it's like a tales old time. It is precious because it is limited. It's precious because there is an end. Um, so just living forever just doesn't seem like a good plan. Um, but everything else is much, that much more important or much fun or much sad or whatever it is because it's a limited time. So I don't think I would.
Plus, you had to drink blood, right? That's the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, we're not. I mean, they're in the 90s, man. Once that AIDS epidemic comes, I don't know how they're gonna die. Once the
Once Blade
diabetes
comes
epidemic
through.
comes,
Oh yeah,
we're gonna
late
have
from the
some.
80s too.
We're gonna have some
Got out
fat
there.
vampires. We're gonna have some fat vampires. We're gonna have some real skinny vampires. So, anything that has to do with blood, y'all gotta. And then, oh man, once they get to 2020, y'all gonna have COVID. It's like, so it's
All the
rich,
COVID's in the
healthy
blood, but yeah.
blood is in short supply. So it's a knowing what we know now, it looks like a like a pretty messed up future. So no, I'm all right.
Any other crazy wild thoughts? Cool. Let's get into the ratings and theater decisions and do we want a sequel? Eddie, go ahead since you
Yeah, I'll
already
go
gave
first
your
because
you
it
already
is what
gave
it
your
is.
review.
Yep, 4 out of 5 spits. Haley Steinfeld spits. Extra spit on my shit.
Down horrendous.
Yes, is really
Jeez.
bad. Is really bad. Um, yeah, it's a good movie. Definitely go watch it. Um, Go watch it in movie theaters. Definitely go see it in IMAX or Dolby or a better, like a upgraded film. Maybe not 4DX, but anything that's not regular standard. Because you'll definitely enjoy it. The the music numbers, the story that's told, the visuals, it does very well. It's a very good film. Um, and based on audience scores and everything, everybody seems to agree. So definitely go see it. I'm a little upset that the Cineverse isn't a thing. Thanks, Chris, for ruining it. Um, but yeah, I would like to see a Sinners verse. Maybe a little bit more lore of what where the initial guy came from, where he's you know a little bit more background of like what's going on. Obviously, this is somewhat of a historical piece, so there's definitely stories that could be intertwined what's going on at the time, even until now, future pieces, right? Just keeping it going. And then a little bit more of the other side, right? Stack and Mary are vampires, so maybe get a little insight of from when they left and when they ran away and how they are up to when they meet, Buddy Holly and or Buddy whatever's sorry, I don't know his name.
Buddy
Uh,
guy.
Buddy Guy, not Buddy Holly. Buddy Holly is 1960s. He died in a airplane with Richie Valens. Yeah. So I would definitely want to see sequels, prequels. You know, because I feel like there's a lot to work with here. So yeah. Chris, what about you?
Yeah. Like you said, go see this in like a big like Dolby would be preferable just because it's the like, especially with the music scenes, like it really hits the just like gets into you with the music really good that way. If there's a theater by you, see it in 70 millimeter IMAX. That's probably good because it was filmed that way. Probably looks awesome in that. And yeah, this movie is awesome. Definitely worth seeing. I give it 4.5 two brothers out of 5. And I feel like the CG or whatever the twin thing in movies played by the same actor can kind of be bad sometimes, but I feel like it worked pretty well. Like Michael B. Jordan is a great actor, and yeah, a lot of great performances in this. And for the Cineverse, maybe Stack and Mary, like them going through like the decades, like have a movie just like it's like here's like the 60s or the 70s and it's like going through the time with them in there until Blade comes and then they join team with Blade or something. I don't know. But yeah. What about you, Charlie?
Yeah, about the same. I got 4.5 Irish jigs out of 5. Yeah, I thought this movie was great. Everyone should go watch it. I've been telling everyone that they should go watch it. And like you, just watch it in the best kind of um movie theater you can. The music and the acting and the story as a whole, super super um super great, super awesome. And in terms of a sequel, yeah, something with Stack and Mary, definitely. I don't think maybe they fast forward it to modern times. Um, so I don't know, maybe I don't know, some hip hop artist that also transcends time, music and time, or maybe long, some other really old vampire they have to like interact with or something like that is what
Would
I'm
you call
thinking.
it Stacked to the Future?
I would call it Mary Jesus and Stack. Um, but yeah, um, so we should make there should be a Cineverse, and and we need like six more movies of these.
No.
Maybe like two. I'll take two. I'll
I
take
think
like the guy. I'll take the main vampire's like story as like a movie, like a prequel.
no, I'll do prequel, sequel, and then spin three spin-offs.
No,
But the
I'll do
spin-offs don't need to be
prequel,
related.
prequel
Spin-offs
and
don't need to be
sequel.
related.
I need the Native Americans to see what
Yeah,
they've
let's see
been
their
like.
story.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah,
another one, right? Like, because obviously this is where that story again. So it's like,
yeah.
what happened before? Did this guy just appear, or that he was he a disciple from somebody else? Like,
It
I
definitely seemed like
choose
they were
you.
hunting him
Yeah.
down.
10
Go. You know
minute,
what I'm
it's gonna
saying?
be a
Yeah.
10-minute movie. They chase him for 10 minutes. They
It
get
gets
to the
dark, they
door.
go to sleep.
They go home. They're like, you know what? No, we're good. We're good. Everybody stay home. Don't invite anybody in. That's it. And that's it. That's your prequel. Um, but yeah, everyone should go watch this movie. But if there's any scenarios we haven't covered, if there's anything we haven't talked about in terms of like this movie, feel free to email us at straightopod@gmail.com. Follow us on all the social media, X, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, Twitch. Um, all the same name, straight to POD. You already know. And that concludes this week's episode. I'm Charlie.
I'm Chris.
Nah, man.
Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time.